Currently, the Navy has 12 dogs, so we're spending $4 million to relocate them to a different place. So that's about $1 million or so per dog, so it's too expensive. The Japanese contribution is actually 336 million, and they have already turned it to us, and that will also go to site preparation, port improvement, and building of a clinic. When you add the 434 million that I mentioned outside the program, projects with the Army Air Force and the Army National Guard, that's over $1 billion projects for Guam in 2010. Next slide, please. So this is how we're going to do it. Some of you, I think there are some contractors, some industry here in the audience. And I just want to explain a little bit of the process. I use the analogy that the Marine Corps are the owners, like building a house. They are the owners. My office, we are the architect. And we have the Naval Engineering Facilities Command in Hawaii, NAVFAC-PAC. They are the builders. And so NAVFAC-PAC will be the one to be awarding the contract. And because of the short timeline, like I said, our EIS will be completed in June, the record decision in August. We want to award the contract by September and begin construction before the end of the fiscal year. We're going to use the concept of this MAC, Multiple Award Construction Contract. About 3 months ago, we requested for proposals for a seed project. We have a seed project for what we call the Big Mac. The MAC that costs $4 to $5 billion. So we have a seed project, the Submarine Learning Center. We received about 280 proposals from 220 companies. In the next month or so, NAVFAC-PAC will narrow it down to 4 or 5. So these 4 or 5 companies will be the prime contractors for the big projects for our program. And there was also a small business MAC, and that is for 1 billion or less projects. Again, there's a seed project that we're using. It's a small project at the Anderson Air Force Base. But the idea is those contracts or those companies have been pre-selected, and then once we award our contracts, it will be faster that way. Now, we requested for technical and price proposals. I want to tell you that for us, as far as we're concerned, the technical factors are more significant than the price. For the technical factors, we are looking at selection criteria. We're looking at past performance. We're looking at use of small businesses. And finally, we're looking at the workforce housing and logistics. How are these companies going to care and feed and take care of the workers? So for those, that's a very important factor for us. Next slide, please. The 90% of the goods come through the port of Guam. Historically, Guam has handled, based on our studies, about 145,000 containers. On our analysis, a $1 billion construction project, we will be needing about 200,000 containers. Overall, break bulk, containers, and cement, we identified about a 600% increase in requirements. Fortunately, modernization of the port is being considered, and we're working closely with them. You see in the picture 3 new cranes funded by private companies arrived from Los Angeles exactly a year ago. Next slide. The road network, of course, is a concern for us, especially the distribution route from the port going up to the construction site. If the road from the port is not widened, then obviously supplies cannot get out of the port. If the bridge fails, then timely delivery of supplies will suffer. And if there's gridlock in the section, then again, that will be a problem. The Marine Corps has committed $50 million for FY10 to improve the road from the port to Marine Corps Drive, to replace the bridge in Hagatan, and to improve 3 or 4 intersections, including the one between Highway 1 and Rock Creek. For FY11, we have identified about $70 million to improve the road from NCTS going up to Anderson. Next slide, please. Most utility systems in Guam are at or nearing capacity, and certainly our program will increase the demand when the Marines finally arrive. But the good news again, I said the Japanese will be funding about $740 million to address the utilities impact that the Marines will have. And so we are working closely with the government of Guam, specifically the Commission on Consolidated Commission on Utilities, the Guam Guam Waterworks Authority, and Guam Power Authority, to find the right business models so the people of Guam will benefit, but at the same time it will remain with the agreed items with the Japanese. So that's $740 million that's coming from the Japanese for utilities. Next slide. Labor, of course, is very important for any construction program to keep on schedule and stay within budget. As you can see in this slide, the workforce capacity in Guam has already been reached. There are 1,900 H-2B or foreign workers in Guam today. 85% of that are from the Philippines. Looking at the numbers, $100,000 per construction workers for a $1 billion project for a program that's about 10,000 workers. Our goal, and this is what our state policy is, to hire our workers from Guam. We think that Guam can increase their workforce capacity to about 7,000 through training and development. After that, we expect or hope to attract workers from the CNMI, the freely associated states, Hawaii, and even the mainland. And finally, the shortfall will be through the H-2B foreign workers.